Hello, you guys. I'm gonna go over a brief weekly summary for this week. So for Tuesday, we reviewed the post test. We saw who was able to get exempt from the test. Unfortunately, I wasn't one of them. But that's okay though. Since we went over all the tests in groups, and we came together as a whole class to kind of make a consensus of the answers and see how each answer is what it is, because we just explained through each step and how we came to the answer, which really helped a lot for to understand the whole question. And this review really is going to help me out for our final interview on mine is Thursday, by the way. Also, we did our project 4 presentations. Here's mine and Julio's and Nico's project. We did a quadruped robot. Here's a few pictures of our build right here. Unfortunately, we couldn't get it to work because our power supply would get drained out really quick when we were turning it on, and we couldn't get it to function all the way through without, which was a bummer. Also, here's James and Stratos project. Theirs was pretty cool because they use these Arduino board to control these two servo motors that they have there. And all of this was 3D printed, by the way, so it's like a maze, and they connected to one of their apps on their phones. And whatever they did to the phone, this would move, and they would complete the maze. They were having some problems too, by the way, but in the end, it was a pretty neat project at the end. So. And here's John's and Sean's project. I think this is really neat what they're doing right here. They're building a 3D printed arm for some little boy here that you can see from the side. He's missing a hand, and so far they've gotten the fingers printed out. They were telling us that it's a perfect match from his right hand, which is pretty neat, I think, and very good on their part that they're doing that for the little boy. It's pretty neat. And this is Crystal's project. She did a Thor, like a hammer for Thor. Here, I'll play this video so you can see. As you can see, it's arcing all the electricity, and it's really neat to see. It's like a stun gun, so I mean, unfortunately, she has to be safe. She has to be very safe with that kind of thing, but it's really cool nonetheless. And yeah, that concludes week 15, like a brief week 15 summary that we did. And now for the end of semester summary. Alright, so here we are. I guess we're at the end of the semester. It's funny though, because I still remember the first days of class when we came in and we took those two tests, the electricity one and the circuits one. And I remember that I knew nothing that was on those tests. When it was over, I was kind of scared because I thought this class was really going to be really tough, because I did not know anything from this test. And when I say anything, I mean anything. I was completely just guessing. But nonetheless, this semester was really cool, and I learned a lot throughout the semester. I remember the first weeks we did the sticky tape lab. That taught me so much about electrons and how they act towards a charged object and a neutral object, and how an object can be charged by induction, conduction, or how it can be polarized as well. I also learned about conductors and insulators and how each can affect the flow of electrons, and how the electrons and the nucleus move within the conductors and insulators. I also learned about Coulomb's law and how it is related to the gravitational force equations. How it's used to determine electric force for two charges. I remember we also used the FET simulations to learn about the electric field, which can be determined by the electric field force per unit. We saw how the electric field is different for positive charges, which for positive charges it points away, and for negative charges it points towards. The direction of the field is taken to be the direction of the force which would exert on a positive test charge. We determine that direction of the field by using the vectors um, from tip to tails and all that, and we did a few examples from that on the spiral physics worksheets. Uh, then I remember that we jumped into electric potential. We related this heavily to the gravitational potential. We determined that the electric potential around the positive charge is always positive and vice versa. We also learned that a positive charge, the potential will decrease to zero as the distance from the charge increases, as well as the potential for the negative charge increases to zero as the distance from the charge increases as well. We also learned about how the potential doesn't change if the charge is moving on the equipotential lines. It always has to be the equipotential lines are always perpendicular to the gravitational lines. Also, we learned about the potential difference in work. I learned that we will get negative work if you're moving a charge to a place that it wants to be, and if you're moving a charge where it doesn't want to be, you get positive work. The work along the electric field lines depends on the magnitude of the charge and the potential difference to which the charge is moved. We did so much other examples on potential difference, finding the velocities of the charges as they moved. We also learned about Ohm's law and current, and how it can be used to calculate the resistance, current, or voltage if two of those of the three were given to us. Then after that, we jumped into the magnetic fields. We learned that magnetic field is a magnetic effect of electric currents and magnetic materials. We learned that the Earth has its own magnetic fields, and that's because of the core. It's so hot, like it creates the whole electric field. The whole magnetic field around the Earth. We learned that the source of all magnetism is moving charge. That magnetic field at any given point is specified by both direction and magnitude. And also we learned that unlike electric fields that start from positive and end at negatives, that magnetic fields never end, and they go out from the north and enter through the South Pole. We also learned about the different right-hand rules to determine the direction of the field or the magnetic force. We learned how a charged particle moves in a magnetic field. And lastly, we used different worksheets to calculate the magnetic field, the force, the velocity, the electric field due to magnetic field, and we did that all by using different equations. And I think that's about it. I'm sorry if I missed anything else, but there's so much other things that we learned that I just can't get through everything in this video. Importance of the projects that we did in this class. I really enjoyed doing these projects in this class for many reasons actually. Since I'm an electrical engineer major, it really gave me a sense of what my career is going to be in the near future. As you can see, I decided to use a lot of electrical things, I guess you could say. These projects also boosted my curiosity of new things that I wanted to learn, and it made me get more engaged into my learning. I learned so much about Arduinos and how to use a breadboard to use circuits and all that. Also, it helped me get some team skills. It gave me experience on how it is to work on engineering project with a team, as most of these projects were in teams. Also, I learned how to solve problems together and how to come up with solutions when we had a problem. It just helped me overall develop the essential skills I can use in the real world and in school for my future classes as well. Next slide. So for the use of my notebook, honestly, I used my notebook so much in this class. I took so much notes and wrote down a lot of what David said. Yeah, I guess you could say that I recorded a lot in class, but I would go home and hear it again after and write down the notes to wrap up my head around the new concepts that we learned. I used it a lot to study for my interviews. I put in all the worksheets that we worked in class and organized them by the units that we worked on. Like for example, Unit 1, Unit 2, Unit 3, Unit 4. I put also at the end of each unit, I would write down a quick summary about everything, and which really helped me a lot to get through the semester as well. Semester recap. This class was tough, honestly, but very fun. And when David told us in the beginning of the semester that we needed to put in 12 hours a week to get a C, he was not kidding, honestly. I was pursuing an A, so of course, I put in an average about 16 hours a week to this course. It wasn't easy because I was taking 23 credits this semester, but I managed to survive so far. So many things that I have learned throughout the semester that I could apply in real life and my future career. And honestly, for this, David, I thank you for this great opportunity that you gave me through your class. And now to the end, I really think that the grade that I deserve for this class is an A. Based on all the work that I put in this class, everything from the syllabus that they say to do, doing all my weekly summaries, my weekly discussions, the neat resources, following all the guidelines that says on the syllabus for the weekly summaries, to be post like everything that you learned for the class, do the top two neat resources, all of that. I also attended the science center for do my cultural science paper. I followed the guidelines for that to get an A. Did 2 pages and a quick summary about it too. Also, I did the cultural debate paper. I did the pros and cons. I did everything that David told me to do after editing it. And just everything, honestly, following all the syllabus. It was hard and all just to follow the syllabus and get all the work done. It's a lot, but I really think I put in all the work to deserve an A for this class. And honestly, I really think I do deserve an A for this class. Just all the projects that I turned into. I passed all my interviews without having to reschedule. I did all the assignments on time. I never turned in everything late. Just overall, I really think I just put in all the time and work to deserve an A for this class. And I really think this class was really fun, honestly. It was hard, but I really think this class is very useful to my career, and I guess that wraps it up. Thank you again, David, for everything. I appreciate everything, all your help, all the new skills you taught me with 3D printing, all that. I guess it just wraps it up. Thank you.